Yes, welcome back to the Drone Camps channel, guys. It is morning time here and I just had my second cup of coffee, so I thought I would share with you today my ATOMRC Killer Whale review. You guys have seen a lot of FPV planes on my channel, and I'm no stranger to airplanes. I have them sitting all over the living room here. I do like to put flight controllers inside these long-range airplanes, and I've been doing it for years, but you can go back and see some of the beginner long-range FPV videos and really learn a lot about installing flight controllers in these type of aircraft. Now, what's special about the Killer Whale? Well, it is a twin engine. It is a 2306 1400 kV motor on here. On both sides, we have 30 amp ESCs. We have tons of room for a pretty large battery in the front of this plane. You can fit up to about a 4S 5000 in there comfortably. You could also fit Li-ion packs in there. You can run any type of Li-ion battery on this setup to about 4SP because of the low kV motors. They don't draw a lot of amps, so it allows you to use Li-ion batteries, and maybe you can get an upwards of an hour flight time with the right 4S Li-ion. I'm thinking somewhere in the 3,000 to 5,000 milliamp range. I wanted to outfit mine today with DJI FPV on here. You can now get the home point on the DJI camera if you wire it to your flight controller using iNav or Betaflight, which is really cool. So since this one is a twin engine setup, it should be pretty efficient out there. And it has access to a lot of the hatches back here. And mine is not in the best condition right now, as you can see. This is going to be kind of an exciting review because not only did I crash once and do a durability test on this plane, right smack into the concrete, I crashed twice. It's just one of those weeks where I just can't seem to keep something in the air, and I keep hitting things with styrofoam. So fortunately it is styrofoam. If you have some bamboo skewers at home, you can pretty much just about put any foam back together with a little bit of epoxy or CA. And what I do is, if I blow the tail off something like I did here, I just take some bamboo skewers and I go right inside the foam and I seed it in a little bit of CA. And what that does is it helps it give it rigidity when I put everything back together along the seams. So once you use CA, foam safe CA, on something foam on an aircraft, it kind of comes back stronger than it was before in that spot, as long as you have some good quality CA glue. So this is a plane that is around 1255 millimeters wingtip to wingtip here. That's around, I believe that was around 50 inches, right about 49.4 inches across. This can carry a max payload. It does say on the website it can carry a max payload up to about 2,500 grams. So that's actually pretty good. So it can carry lots of different types of gear on here. Now, one thing that I thought was really interesting is that mine came with this GoPro mount here, and this is neat because I didn't put my GoPro on here. I actually put my Insta360 1R on here with the 360 lens, and the mount that comes with it is a 3D printed mount. It's down inside the canopy here, and what that allows me to do is put that in this mount like this and have the camera riding up top for basically like a floating invisible camera above the aircraft. So you could create some really cool stuff with that type of setup. Unfortunately, I tested mine on the table. You can see the video here. It looks super awesome. You cannot see the tripod at all, so it makes the tripod invisible, which is really neat. So take it out for some really epic video. I mean, coming back from the coast with some footage like that of this airplane out on the Oregon coast would have been like the most epic video I've ever made for you guys. Unfortunately, now the plane is in shambles, but I still have the mount, so I'm going to try to mount this mount in some other type of aircraft for you guys and get you some of that cool footage. But for now, I tried a first flight controller. It failed. So then I just went to using my Spectrum radio, and I used an older receiver, and I guess somewhere in that flight we lost signal and we went nose in with a 4S 5000 battery. So that 4S 5000 battery it's pretty big. So this has a lot of forward weight and momentum going in, and it destroyed the front of the fuselage again for the second time. After rebuilding it the first time for you guys, it blew out the tail again. One other thing that I would suggest doing if you buy this plane is make sure that you put a carbon spar on the back between the two rudder tail fins. So very important to stabilize that, because I feel like the setup that they have in the back is just not that great. So please do take a carbon spar across the back of the tail fins. That will really help a lot. But all the servos, if you get the PNP version, they're all installed. They're all 9-gram servos, and they all have all the linkage all ready to go. They have really fancy plugs on the side here for plugging in servos, and all the servo leads and wires are labeled inside this. So when you go to put them onto your receiver, everything is labeled, so that makes it really great. So we're gonna go ahead now and we'll go outside and do some flying and some crashing, guys. I'm gonna show you the crashes as always on the channel, because yeah, we're a real RC channel here on the Drone Camps channel, and that's a whole part of our hobby. You know, sometimes you make it, sometimes you break it, right? So let's go ahead outside to the field now for my maiden flight with my killer whale and crash. After that, we'll take a short break, and then we will fly again. I'll show you some footage, and we will do another crash, unfortunately, and a retrieval. Here we go, guys. Let's go do some RC airplane twin engine flying. Alright guys, so you got to see the crash of the killer whale, and it did not go as planned. Sometimes when I put a flight controller in, everything seems fine, and then I have a component failure. It might have been either the flight controller that failed, or it could have been a servo hung up, but I have a feeling that it was the elevator. So when I got home and I checked, I think there was a little bit of CA on the elevator, and it made the elevator stick in the up position, so that made us roll over. And when, you know, I didn't realize it, but the elevator was stuck in the up position, and we just did a complete roll, and I spiraled straight into the concrete. Like, all this beautiful field out here, and just like that, I mean, that's like, you know, RC guys, luck. You're gonna crash in the concrete, not in the grass, right? So with a little bit of CA and some epoxy and some bamboo skewers in here to give it some extra rigidity, she's back together. So like I say on the channel all the time, never give up, right guys? Crash it, rebuild it, fly it again, repeat. So that seems to be the way that the hobby is, and I'm gonna give this another shot with the 4S 5000 on board, and we'll put a camera up here. We'll also try to record some DVR on there for you guys so you can see some flight footage from the killer whale. Let's give it another shot, guys. Here we go. Ow! Oh God! There's briars in here. So, yeah, this is crash number 2. Oh my God! Destroyed the front end again. There she is, you guys. That's the brakes, but at least I didn't have to get wet coming in here because there's a lot of marsh around here. And there is the crash site, picking up the pieces. Hopefully the cam's still in the front. Broke the tail end again, smashed the front. Oh man, that sucks. Let's see if the action cam's up there. Yep, still going. It's a 360, still recording. Oh man. So yeah, this time I used the Spectrum receiver just because I wanted to do it super quick, because before I spent like 8 hours into this, like with a flight controller and all that gear in there. So this time I just wanted to fly it real quick for fun and you know, get some footage for you guys of the whale, because I don't think it's a bad plane. I think I just made some dumb mistakes here, and maybe it's something to do with my setup here, but I've been flying planes since I was a kid, you know, so it could be anything. It could be anything. It could be a servo. I know my elevator was sticking after I put some CA on the tail, and yeah, so she's the good news is that she is fixable. She is fixable. Yeah, that's a good thing. She's fixable. She'll be all right, and we will continue flying on the channel as always, you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and unplug her here and stop the other camera. You know, I like to show you guys stuff like this on the channel. Why not? I mean, I do crash, and sometimes I gotta find my way out of swamps. That's also part of the hobby, right? I mean, Jesus. I gotta watch out for those briars on the way back out. That kind of sucked. So, yeah, this one's fixable. Even though it looks like a pile of junk, it's actually gonna be okay. I've fixed a ton of these foamies before. And that's the great thing about foam, you know? I mean, it's always fixable. A little bit of CA and some epoxy on there, and she'll be back in the air again. I mean, just for me, it boils down to, do I want to put more time into it, or just call it a day and move on to the next plane for you guys? But this one seems to be jinxed for me. You can check out the link down below for the ATOMRC, also known as Sky Zone, Killer Whale. I'll show you how I'll show you the parts and stuff that I use to set mine up, and I'll also recommend a couple flight controllers that will be super reliable and not fail like this one did for me. So, but thanks again for watching my channel, guys. Please do subscribe on the channel, and I will see you on the next one. Keep them up in the air, guys. As a friend of mine said the other day, keep it up in the blue. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.